So something different today, going to head up Cape Leveque Road, set up a little camp out at Bard Creek for the night, see if we can't catch anything off some of the lures. Put something in the freezer for once, be a change. All right, let's go. So yesterday went down to Bard Creek with the hope that I'd camp on the point there at the southern end and do a bit of fishing and have a good experience, light a fire, etc. But the tides are so high at the moment, the beach is coming right up to the sand dunes, so there was no beach camping to be had. And also the point itself, where the creek meets the ocean, it's been completely covered by the tide at the moment, so there's really no place to safely camp at the moment. So ended up coming home, got a bit of drone footage on the way back, which was good fun. Drove through some puddles after last week's rain, which was awesome. But yeah, unfortunately we didn't get there to stay overnight. However, we'll put that on the to-do list for next time. So all good. This is the first day after the rain has stopped. It's rained for about 4 or 5 days, pretty solid. We're at Roebuck Bay. A cloud's just gone over the sun now, but we've come down to, don't know if you can see that on the GoPro, we're trying to put the drone up. However, being in the flight path of the airport here in Broome, you can't really do much. It auto lands you.
How pretty is this?
Very pretty.
So pretty.
Keith and I have just come down to have a look at Entrance Point, and on the way in, just on Port Road here, we saw that there looked like to be a little nature's window, so we're coming to have a look, see what we can find. Today we're going to do lamb shanks and we're going to cook them in the slow cooker. We've got all the ingredients here, we're going to share how we do it on the road. So I'm just going to place the lamb shanks in the slow cooker. And if we were at home, normally we would brown these off first, but on the road, we're not going to bother. We find we don't need to here. So I'll just prep all these up, get those in there. We're filming this today after about, well, what do you say, Kit? 5 days of wet weather. So
yep.
The sun is out again now, so it's
not really shank weather.
Not really shank weather, but it doesn't matter. Any day's a good day for shanks. All right, have a look at those bad boys. We'll just get the onion, and I haven't chopped it too finely. It doesn't need to be too fine. Of course, it's good. It'll all break down anyway. The base we use for our shank mixture is the Master Foods slow cooked. So this is the garlic herb for lamb shanks. We also, the recipe calls up that you can place any other sort of veggies in there, carrots or whatever. At this stage we don't. We've put the onion in, that's about it. We also add a can of diced tomatoes, tomato paste, a sachet of that, and we also always add extra garlic. So we love that. So we'll get that together. We put that in a bowl, mix it together, and then that simply gets poured over the lamb shanks in the pot, and then we switch it on. So once we get this prepared and all mixed in together, we put that on low and we cook this for about 8 hours. So all day long we'll get to smell this, which will be fantastic, and then we can have that tonight for tea.
It will be amazing.
So here's those ingredients put together. I'll just add about a very healthy teaspoon of garlic in addition to what's already in there, and we'll get that mixed up. What Keith normally does too at the very end, just before serving, is also to this mixture when it's hot, is also add a bit of gravy mixture, not only for flavour, but we'll thicken it up a little bit as well, which we'll do later on. Alright, that is all mixed together. In we go. Try and cover everything. This smells awesome. Rightio.
Does smell pretty good.
Put that lid on. On low. So that's now on for 8 hours. We'll come back periodically and check that, but it smells absolutely divine, so can't wait to get into it. Now that 4 hours has passed, we're going to give these a quick turn. Oh, I wish this was smell-o-vision because this smells awesome. Falling off. It's gonna be a bit tricky. Probably need two. I've got another. Just let the flip to go. Remember the flip. Right here. It's falling off the bone already, Kate.
Wow.
So we'll be back in another 4 hours, which will make that 6 o'clock, just in time for dinner. Yum. Right, 8 hours later in total. Have a look at this, Kate. Get that camera in there.
Whoa, looks
How
amazing.
good does that look? And I tell you what, if that camera could smell, you'd be loving this right now. All right, when we're on the road too, for a mashed potato product, this is what we go for. This is a McCain one. We're going to use about half this for our meal. We'll give that about 4 to 5 minutes in the microwave for those 2 servings. After that, we'll give it a stir. We'll add more garlic again and butter, and then do that again, so another 4 to 5 minutes, depending on how hot you want that. And we'll plate those up together. That with a glass of wine will be al dente.
Ooh, can't wait.
Look forward to it. So I've just got the shanks out now. Have a look at that. That smells so good. So what we're going to do now, what Keith and I do, with the sauce that's left, have a quick look in there. Although that's really flavoursome, we're going to thicken it up, and we put like a soup spoon or a big tablespoon full of the Maggi gravy mix in there. Not only does it add a bit of flavour, but it thickens it up a bit and makes it taste even better. Just grab that, big fella like that, in you get. All over me, just put that down in it. Alright, thanks Kate. Give that up mix right through. There's still a lot of heat in here too, so it won't take much. Oh God, it smells so good.
It does.
Right, we've plated up. Keith, just show what has just been prepared and come out. Again, like I said, I wish the smell could come through the camera, because I'll tell you what, it's unreal.
Oh, let's get into it.
Well, let's go.
How's your belly?
Fat. And we've got a food baby in there and he's in a coma.
Well done, mate. They were amazing.
So what do you got there, Kate?
I got a crayfish.
Yeah.
And I also got a kilo of banana prawns.
Oh, awesome.
The last prawns caught for the season.
Nice. What are they for, Chrissy?
Absolutely.
Let's go. Broome Sea Rescue.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Ho, ho, ho! Come and see Santa! He's got lollies for everyone! Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
What do you got there, Kate?
There's some lollies from Santa.
Oh, thanks, babe. What's that thing?
Ooh, it's a special drink for grown-ups.
We're about 70 k's from Sandfire Roadhouse, and it looks like the last batch of fuel we got last night in Broome might have been a bit dirty, so we're having fuel issues, so very lumpy and very limited power. So I'd say we're up for a new fuel filter at the minimum, but we'll fill up and we'll get some diesel cleaner when we're there, I think.
Hopefully, yeah. We don't want to be stranded out here in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So
38-degree heat.
So we're just limping at the moment. We'll get there, no worries. We'll have a look at it once we're at the roadhouse.
Yes, stressful.
Fun times. We're down to about 55 to 57 k's an hour at the moment, and that's all the car will let us do with this fuel blockage. So a bit of roux juice in there as well, and it always seems to really get blocked when we're at the bottom of a hill. So it's great fun. So we're only about 50 k's now from Sandfire Roadhouse, so I think we'll make it. Got a bit over a quarter of a tank. We'll just limp it in, and then we'll see what we can find there in regards to filters.
It's very slow going.
Very slow going.
Yeah.
We were hoping potentially to go all the way to Karratha tonight, but I don't know if we'll be doing that, babe. See what happens.
We'll see.
We've just left Sandfire Roadhouse, so we got there with about an eighth of a tank tank left, and kangaroo jumping. We couldn't do more than about 50 k's, 51 I think we were peaking out.
Yeah, it's pretty slow going.
So went in, checked, no spare parts, so no fuel filters, no O-ring, no kits whatsoever.
Note to self, carry spares.
Yep, carry spares. And no fuel cleaning products either. So but what we did, due to no option, is we filled up right to the very top of the tank and headed off. Instantly, we're about 20 k's down the road now. Instantly, there's a massive difference. So I'm hoping that we don't have any more fuel problems between, at least here in Headland, where we can deal with the parts issue. So fingers crossed, no more issues. As you would have seen the other day, coming back from Broome, the night before we left, we filled up, and that seems to have been a dirty tank. There was no water and fuel indicators, but it must have been grubby. It had a bit of a bacteria or some particulate in it. We filled up the next day, travelling back to Karratha probably 3 times, or 3 times after that, and each time we filled it got better. However, just going to change the fuel filter and give the fuel system a flush as well to make sure that the injectors are clean. So just going to go through that now. Just disconnect that power supply and the comms. That's that one done. Now we've loosened these clips off, we'll just remove those hoses and we'll disassemble the body and we'll change that filter out. And the last little trick is, see here in this, with the power connection lead here, the comms and power, it's just got a little push-in fitting here through the body. Just remove that, and then you'll be able to take out the housing for the filter, and away we go. And there she is, ready to take, we'll change the filter out. Right, so now we've got the filter housing out, what we're going to do, screw that off, pull this apart and have a look at the element itself and see how nasty it was. Make sure you use a bucket because we make a bit of mess here with the diesel. That's still in the unit. There's the head off. Let's have a look at the element. Yeah, look at that. Bit of diesel. So that element there, I mean, I've seen them blacker than that, but that ain't in good nick. So that's and just before we left, so we've done since we left, we had it serviced. This was brand new then. I'm going to estimate around 6,000 k's, so it hasn't done a lot, but shows you what a nasty batch of fuel will do to your element. And when you're out in the middle of nowhere, it's really not good fun to have to struggle and not be able to have spares. So Buzz, you were right, always carry spares, and I said I would, but I haven't yet, but I will now. So now you've seen what the old element looks like. I'll show you what the new one is. So we've got the BT50, similar to, well, it's a 2014, very similar to the Ford Rangers of that era. Not anymore, but it was then. Ryco filter, part number 2724P. So that's what we need to replace our element. So that's what a new one looks like. You can see the massive difference between those two, and I'll show you a shot side by side. Also got a spare O-ring which goes in the housing, so you should change that out at the same time every time you change your element. So that's the side-by-side shot right there. You can see how bad, you know, even after 5,000 to 6,000 Ks, what that looks like once you get a dirty batch of fuel. Not real good. So, and we were out, you know, probably 90 Ks up the road, well, I should say down the road from Broome, heading towards Karratha when this started to have effect. And we got down to, like I said in the previous clip, we got down to 50 Ks an hour. It's all the power we could get out of it because of the blockage going through the element. Once you got this apart too, before you replace the O-ring and element, give it a degrease and a really good clean. Just make sure that while you've got it open, there's no other hidden nasties in there that'll catch you out. So don't have to do this again shortly. So before we put it back together again, we'll just take that old O-ring out. And we'll whack in the new one. How's that? Greasy hands. Rubbish. Right. So that new O-ring's installed. We're ready to put that together. So now that's all done, grab the new element and install him. So it's nice and flush. And we'll put the lid on. Okay, just clip those together like that. So that's all done, and then we just do a locking ring. We make sure that's nice, it only has to be hand tight. That looks pretty good. Pretty even around there. All right, let's whack it in. Okay, on the reverse now, back in. Let's make sure that comms cable goes first, so I can grab that. She's out of the road. So filter housing back in now, all connected. I'll just put the comms back on the power and we're right to go. Okay, so that's everything installed. The power and communications is connected. All the fuel lines to and from the engine back to tank are done. And the filter's mounted correctly. Alright, so let's go and prime it and we'll get it cranked. So we'll give it 3 primes. So that fuel pump will prime that to the through the fuel system. Just an accessory. Can't wait to get in that pool. Bloody hell. Alright, one more time. Alright, a little bit of gas off. And she should start. Hey, listen to that. Just make sure you always check for leaks as well. Looking good. Job done. All right, let's get in that pool.
Thanks for watching Ep 6, guys. As you can see, we're back in the Pilbara. It keeps drawing us in. So we'll be here for Chrissy, so look out for the next step.